Every time I go to the server to find every friend in the house wants to see me tonight. With a little shot now I feel it just right. All I wanna do is see a beautiful sunlight.
And welcome back to the TimeShot server. Now, this is my first actual real private personal recording on the server. You guys obviously see the giant recording that we all did together, which was loads of fun. One of the biggest comments that we got, at least from the other people who are on the server, was that, like, you listen back to those videos and all you can hear almost constantly is our giggling, constant giggling and laughing, and just we're like a new family and we've got love for each other. To me, that's the most remarkable thing in the world. I know that this will succeed because of the way that is. You know, if we can keep that up, even for a little while, it'll be loads of fun. I cannot wait. So lots has happened. There are a few issues right now that we're managing on the server. We are with a host that, I'll say this, it crashes a lot. We're crashing a lot. There's a little bit of lag, and I noticed this from day one even. Like if I dig a block, let's just random right here. It takes it's like not even half a second for the block to appear. And if I place it, just half a second for the sound of me placing that. That's not a lag in the video. That is a lag on the server. Like if I break it, it just half a second. It maybe not even half a second. And that lag, it might not seem like a lot, but when you're fighting a mob or something and they've got that extra half a second, well, here's a good way of putting it. I'm sure that some of you have played Quakecraft on the Hypixel server. Total plug. One of my favorite games on there. There are different triggers you can have. A 1.5 second, 1.4 second, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, you know, things like that. If I have a 1.1 second and I go up against someone who has the 1.5 second, the amount of time is just so insignificant. And yet, I will have such an advantage, I can't lose. So, for that half a second or whatever it is, lag, it does matter. It really does. Now, that's one issue. The other is that the server's actually been crashing because of lag. And the thing is, I can't fault the server's support. I've been on the phone basically with their support, sent a huge amount of support tickets back and forth, and I'll give them this. I won't mention them by names, you know, at this point, but I can truly say that they are trying. They're doing their best. They're doing their darndest to try to make our experience a good one. Basically, they've tried a few things with me, a few solutions, but I make it clear to them, like, look, we are a group of YouTubers who need this to work. I'm recording right now. If it crashes, two things. First, it could ruin my whole recording. Especially, like, some of the things that people do on here could ruin everything. And, you know, I can't keep my train of thought at the best of times. If I then have to, like, stop, wait for the server to come back up, start up my recording again, that adds editing time and stuff, but it also, my whole train of thought is gone. Without fail. Just ask Nia, who's on right now. Go ask her. Do I have ADD? I have the worst. Wyntr knows it too. Anybody who's spent any amount of time with me knows my ADD is probably one of the worst that they've seen. So I need to concentrate. If the server goes down, this conversation that I'm having right now will never exist again. Like, it'll be gone. I'll forget to do it. However, this is the second time that I am recording my thoughts about what I'm going to say about certain events that have happened since the opening of TimeShot server. And I thought that while I was doing this, I read this right here. Your stuff's all gone. What shall you do? Look in the chests for your first clue. And I know that... Look at this. I still got all this coal. Aha! I'm rolling in the coal. I got so much of it. Look at it all. You didn't get that, did ya? Got all this coal. But yeah, look at my inventory. I got horse armor. I think that was from one dungeon, and another saddle, and a name tag. I say another saddle because, well, I'll show you guys in a bit when I head that way. Dirt. That's what I got. There we go. I'm just going to shove things in here for now. There we go. And in this one, more dirt. Oh! First clue. By Nia. Oh, okay. Bye! Anyway. There's a lot to talk about. So I'm going to just dive into it. Oh yeah, I was talking about the beast. See my ADD? But anyway. Beast node is... crap, I wasn't supposed to mention them yet. Well, now you know. Their support has actually been pretty stellar. So, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad. They have been crashing, but they've been trying their best to do what they can to help us out. And honestly, like, I made it clear that we're a group that needs this to work. And the guy actually got back to me and he said, "Hey, I'm a big fan. You know, I watch your videos. I like your stuff. You know, and I understand completely why it's so important for you to have it up and running. And, you know, happy to be the team to do it for you. So let's get it sorted out." So they've been working really hard. They've got... we tried something last night. It ran for a few hours. Didn't work. It crashed again today. So they're going to try one last thing, and unfortunately, if it doesn't work out, then we will be moving elsewhere. So that's one of the issues that we're working on right now. Oh yeah, I was supposed to read the first clue. Let's read that. Down the hill to the east, come face to face with a caged-in beast. The sheep won't talk, don't be a fool. A shovel is your greatest tool. Alright. Wait, I'll take this with me, just in case I forget what I'm saying, what I'm doing. Come down the hill to the east. You'll come face to face with a caged-in beast. Okay, so where's the east? That's north, south, east. Okay, so it's down the hill this way. The sheep won't talk. Don't be a fool. A shovel is your greatest tool. Well, I got a shovel. Oh, there it is right there. A sheep? You caged-in beast? Hello, beast. How's it going? Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, I know, right? So a shovel. What, underneath the sheep? Ah, here it is. Huh? What's beyond it? Oh, nothing. Alright. I have to seal all this in again anyway. Mobs will spawn in here. Okay. Second clue from Misconduct. So this is a 2 Girls 1 Minecraft sponsored event. Let's read this together, caged-in beast. Hey! Okay, you getting a little snack for the reading? Okay. It says, "In the distance you spy a mountain. On its peaks seek out the fountain. South is where the water leads. The clue lies within the yellow weeds." Okay. Wait, what? In the distance you spy a mountain. On its peaks seek out the fountain. Well, the only mountain that is really here is that one. Or mine, but I don't think they're talking about mine, obviously. So I'll head towards that mountain. South is where the water leads of the fountain, I imagine. The clue lies within the yellow weeds. Alright. Sounds pretty easy. So I'm looking for a fountain on a mountain. Not a mountain, what? Okay. Let's see. I think that before I start talking about the server stuff, about what's happened since TimeShot's opened, and because by the time you watch the events unfold, this video will be pretty old. Ooh, that rhymed so good. Man, I'm pro. But like, I know that I still have to post the at the time of me making this, I haven't posted the second part of our big group recording yet, and so I know that there will be more to it. By the time you see the related videos and stuff, this will be pretty outdated, I think. But I'll do my best to keep it current and stuff. What I'm trying to say will make sense in a second, okay? Just bear with me. Now, where the heck is that fountain? In the distance, you spy a mountain. On its peaks, seek out the fountain. There's a big structure or something. This is the peak, though. The fountain's not... That's a peak. That's a peak. This is the peak. There's peaks over there. Do I have to go all the way over there? Might as well. It's getting dark too, so that's very bad. My armor is not doing very good. A lot of you noticed my little new rubber booties that I have on my avatar. I guess I'll show you guys. See? Got little rubber booties permanently on my feet. Because you can fit other things over top, people were calling them rubber sockies or just latex socks or something like that. I don't know what people were calling them. I'm thinking that when 1.8, the new skins come out, that I might put little rubber booties over my feet, make them look a little bit better. It's a big F. There's some yellow weeds. So if that's the clue, then where was the fountain? Did I miss it? I don't know. Let's see what this sign says. Oh, man! Of course, right in front of us all these things spawn in. I don't have time. You see, it's like there's like a little half-second delay in when I hit them, and because I wouldn't have ever been hit had that lag not been there. It does make difference. It does. What's this? What's this? Oh no! Is this the fountain? Let's see what this is. What is this? Oh, is this someone's house? What is this? Is this the fountain? Eh? Where does this go? I'm gonna look. But yeah, what I was trying to say while I was on the fountainy peaks that didn't have a fountain. What the heck? Eh? Oh. Looks like someone started to do some digging here or something, but didn't finish. Uh-oh. How do I get back now? Come on. I think maybe someone's gonna build maybe like a mining operation here. I don't know. I don't think. What does the clue say? South of this place, which I think is actually opposite of the direction I'm traveling. But yeah, what I was saying on the fountainy peaks was with regards to something that takes a lot of concentration, which I don't have, and so I want to talk about it after I figure this whole thing out. Let's see what that sign said. Oh! Oh no! Please, please, please. No! Oh god, I thought that was gonna ruin the sign. Oh, that would have been so bad. Come on. Die! There we go. There we go! There we go. Whew! Okay. F is for fountain. Shut up, I forgot my bucket. Oh my god! Oh my god. I was looking everywhere for that fountain. F is for fountain. Okay. So that is the clue. So then these are the weeds, and I imagine it's right in the middle of these weeds. Ah! Final clue. Final clue already. Alright. What does it say? It says, sorry for all this hassle. Your princess is in another castle, Mario. You came all this way, but you were wrong. Your stuff was under your furnaces all along. So, right back at the beginning? Okay. Under my furnaces. I'll have to look. I'll have to go see. Oh god. Princess is in another castle. My stuff! To be honest with you, I don't even remember what I had in those chests. It could be just nothing. I've been doing all of my mining and all my building and everything like in a completely different spot lately, so all the stuff that I had there was probably pretty... I didn't really have an attachment to it anyway, but we'll see what's there. I think that's... yeah, that's my spot. Ooh, the skeleton missed. Oh, he missed again. Alright. Let's go dig under my furnaces and find out what's there. And then I can address this huge issue that's been the topic of today, really. Okay. So here we go. Under my furnaces. Yes, here we go. All my stuff. Let's read this. Let's read this, what it says. Not quite a prank, but still pretty pro. Don't be upset. We love you, though. I love that, too. That is so cool. That is awesome. I'm going to keep those books forever. Love it, love it, love it. Ooh. Okay, some pretty good stuff that I left behind. Material for rubber booties. Let's use that, actually, because I don't right now have any. Boop. Okay, and put on the pants, put on the boots. There we go. Alright, so, now that that's all done, we've had our fun. Oh, another pro rhyme. Look at me. They call me poet for a reason. Alright, so anyway, thank you, girls, for the really cool rhymable prank. It was pretty awesome, and also gave me some inspiration. Maybe I'll do something in the same vein, but in a different way. Hard to explain. Whoa! Did that rhyme again? Vein and explain? Well, now I'm just going master level. Anyway, I gotta get serious, because there's a really serious thing to talk about, and I will be completely open and honest about all of it. I won't pull any punches. If someone needs to be punched, I will punch. I will attack. No, I won't attack. But I will be as honest and open with you guys as possible. And as usual, I usually say that I do that because you guys deserve the open and honest and truthful. You know, I've often seen people saying, you know, in videos, they'll make a line like, well, I won't go into details, but. Well, I won't mention any names, but. And my policy generally, although I did say it earlier with the server that we're on and then I let it slip, oops. I usually will go out of my way to make sure that you guys are aware of the truth. The full truth. Nothing but the truth. You know, that kind of stuff. Because you guys deserve to know. You don't deserve to basically be told, well, you don't really need to know. You know, patronizing you guys for not being able to understand it, maybe. I don't know why people would want to shield you guys. It's to save face, maybe. At this point in my life, you know what? What have I got to lose? If someone's going to have hurt feelings over something that I say, they have full ability and right to go and defend themselves in any way they see fit. You know, I'm my own person. My opinions are my own. I will say that right now. I don't speak for this TimeShot server. My opinions are my own. I want to make that very clear first and foremost about the whole TimeShot server and why we opened it up, because you guys deserve to know why and how it came to be and that kind of stuff. And this is good for a very first video, one-on-one type of thing. To clear things up, first of all, no, I do not technically own the TimeShot server. I am part of a group who are paying for the servers that run it. And I've bought things like domain names and that kind of thing. But do I consider myself like the server admin? No. And that's the whole way that the whole premise of this server is that we wanted it to be basically group run. You know, if 8 of us can make it and one of us can't, we're not going to hold everything up because that one person can't make it, you know? That's basically the whole premise of how this server is run, because the community matters so much more than our own personal goals or gains. And that's something that I actually said to the entire TimeShot group in a private chat, is that, you know, we're doing this for the people. That's the whole point of this server, is to give you guys something to watch and enjoy. Everybody on this server, every single person that we invite, is here because they care about the community more so than they care about even their own goals or gains. They care about giving you the content. That is why they are here. So, you can bet when you see the member list that if you check out any of them, that you are going to get a really, really awesome experience. Like, they truly care about you. When you comment on their videos and stuff, they love you for it. Trust me. So, how did the server come to be? Let me just go to Poet and Nia's little cozy hole. Just ignore the signs. I'm here for food. I need food. We got so many cooked potatoes in my little... This is my mining operation. We got diamonds, emeralds, some gold, lots of iron, a little bit of coal, you know. Magnius's lily pads. Let's see. A lot of people were very excited to see Magnius on the server. Him and I, of course, do very similar series and stuff like that. So a lot of you guys either found out about him because of me or found out about me because of him. So to see us together on the same server is like, what? This is overload of amazingness. But yeah, I'm so excited that he's here. We haven't had a huge amount of time to talk, but like I said, I'm very excited, and I hope that we get to do a lot together. This is just a little bit of a weird thing that I was starting to make, sort of based on some of my very first builds in Minecraft ever. And I was actually going to put little chests, maybe, and make this kind of like a chest room type of thing. I like the water elevator is nice and quick at this point. This is my infinite spring, so I can continue it. But yeah, I'm probably going to make it a multi-floored chest area, maybe. Or maybe put furnaces in there. So I'll do something with it. I'm not sure yet. But I want it to go from basically the bottom of this ravine all the way up to the top. I don't know why. Just because. Make a real nice underground mining operation is what I intend to do. Kind of expand this. We got an enchanting table with full 30 level enchant with bookshelves. This is pretty good considering I think we made this on like the second day we were on the server. Let's see what's in here. Just some potatoes, glass, iron, more iron, some gold. This is basically my mining operation. And there's a little railway all the way to Two Girls One Minecraft's base, way out in the middle of a high hills biome, and then to spawn. So it's kind of like a spawn rail system. Let's see. I think that's about all that I really needed here. But Okay, so let's talk about how the server was kind of how it came to be, how the idea came to be. And I'll go right now and blow out of the water any accusations that I left Red Cubed to make my own server. That didn't happen. And several people will attest to that. I think Liam more than anybody. Me and Liam really were the first two to start chatting about our own server. And this, if you can believe it, actually goes back almost a year ago. Where Liam and I were... This is before Red Cubed even had the idea, a sparkle in its eye, for the public server that it was going to have. Me and Liam were actually considering making some kind of a server together. We didn't know if it was going to be a recording server or a public server or what it was going to be. But we started talking even way back then. And so here we both were. We had left Red Cubed, both for different reasons. And again, to clear that up, I hope that I had in my last Red Cube video, but I hear the grumblings from a lot of people that, well, I left because Liam left, and that's not true. Me and Liam aren't... What? You can't claim all the donkeys! I found these donkeys first. That's what I was coming to check out. They are not yours, my friend. I am upset. I'm upset. I want a donkey, and now they are Sigil's donkeys. Man, if you don't grab it fast, it's gone. That is literally the reason I was coming out here, was to see about the donkeys, to see if they were still here. But that's okay. That's all right. I'll try to grab one from them. I'll be honest with them. I'll pay for one if I have to. But anyway, me and Liam aren't attached at the hip. You know, I didn't leave because Liam left. You know, I wasn't so upset and, you know, whatever. In fact, when Liam left, I think I made it pretty clear to people that I wasn't going to leave. It was actually something completely unrelated that happened that kind of pushed me over the breaking point and said, you know what? I'm gone too. If Liam has... The only thing about Liam leaving that would... It inspired me to leave. It inspired me to leave on my own behalf, you know? If Liam can do it, I don't see why I can't do it, kind of thing. But I didn't leave for the same reasons he left. He took a lot of the things that happened a lot more personally than I did. I am a very optimistic and open-minded person. I don't let a lot bother me. And to be honest, things that bothered Liam didn't really bother me that much. But in the grand scheme of things, I had some issues of my own. Some of them the same as Liam's, and you know, that's I guess why people would suggest that I left because he did, but that's not true. Anyway, we were both sitting there. We don't have a server. We're serverless. And Liam comes to me and he says, "Hey, you know, remember that idea that we had about a server? You know what?" And he didn't even say server. He didn't say the word server. He approached it very lightly and said, kind of like, have you thought about a place? Maybe like I don't remember the exact words that he used, but he didn't go right out and say, "Hey, we should make a server." Even then. But I got what he was getting at, and right away I said to him, "No. Absolutely no. I don't want a server." I had already been approached by someone who was on Red Cubed, who I think was running his own server on the side. I don't know why, but I was approached by him already, and like I said to him, like, no, I'm not ready to join a place. I'm not gonna join a place right after I leave Red Cubed. I don't need to, you know. Would it be nice for the fans? I don't think so. I need to take my time with this. So I said to Liam, give me some time to think about it. Days went by. Even weeks went by. And Liam came to me again and he said, "Hey, you know, I don't want to be pushy. Have you thought about it at all? You know, what would you consider? Because right now, our channels really, really, really benefit from that kind of content. This is Liam's big humongous. I can't believe the amount of work he's put into putting that dirt down. It's just amazing. It's a huge area. Anyway, walking down this path. There's going to be apparently a cow monument there, which is funny because I think I called it like Cow Island or something like that in the first episode. So this is the road to Desi and Wyntr's, I think. Not too sure. But anyway, he approached me again, and again I said, I don't know, we need more time. And his comment back to me was, well, the more time you take, the more opportunity you're missing for the fans. Like, the fans want a place for us to all hang out. And I considered that for a while, and I was still on the fence about it. I didn't want to run a server. I still don't really want to run a server. That's why this whole server is a group-run event. He wanted to have a place, and I eventually said, you know what? I agree. We do need a place. I would love a place to record. Let's do a server. We can do it. But here's the thing, and this is one of the biggest things. Now, Red Cubed closed. It closed. I just found out, I think, today. By the time you watch this, it's been several days now, but I just found out about it. And I was so upset. I can't tell you how upset I was. Eh? Okay. He's using a similar system to what I've got. Except he's going to do the full altar type of style. That's a lot of cows. Hey, little cow. Oops. Uh-oh. Is there a gate? There is... Oh, I can get out the corner. Okay. I think this is Desi's house. I've seen him around here a lot. Must be to his mine. Here we go. Stairway just temporary. Eh? Well, I think this is Desi's house. Anyway. Red Cube closed, and I was really upset about it. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't want Red Cube to close. I told you guys when I left that I wanted you all to still support the people on there, and I still supported all the people on there. I was genuinely, I didn't want it to close down. And it saddens me that it did. Where do you guys go now? The fans who watch their content. Where? When we created TimeShot, this server that you're watching right now, we both said to each other, we both agreed, we do not want this to be in any way, shape, or form related to Red Cubed. In any way. Oh god, this is bad. This is bad! Run! Look at all the mobs that are loading in the rendering errors badness. Why doesn't it render fast for me? Come on. But anyway, we said to each other, we don't want this to be like Red Cubed. We don't want to make waves. We are not competition to them. I still love the people on there. I still support the people on there. I can't wait to do the server versus server UHC type of thing. Like, I genuinely wanted them to succeed, just as much as us. Because our goal is completely different. Red Cube was a server of YouTubers supporting YouTubers. Collaboration to the max. While our server is collaboration as well, it's mostly for you guys. It's collaborate in whatever way you can think of, or do whatever type of content you want on this server to support each other and to make the fans happy, to make the fans, the viewers, enjoy the experience. If your goal is to just do redstone tutorials or something on the server, that's fine. That is absolutely okay. That is your prerogative to do that. I wish that you'd maybe involve other people, and maybe you will. But hey, we're not going to define what you can and can't do. At least I won't. Our goal was mostly for the fans. At least that's how I see it. So we weren't competition for Redcube at all. And when it came to members, because this is something when we first created the server, we're like, yay, cut the ribbon, the server's open, congrats, party time. Basically, we were like, okay, well, what happens when a Redcube member applies? It hadn't happened yet, and we all said, well, it one day might. It one day will. It's inevitable, YouTubers change servers all the time. It's like shoes, You shop around for the best shoes, and eventually shoes wear out. You buy new ones. YouTubers switch servers all the time. So we knew eventually a Redcube member would apply. We made the point clear right then and there. When and if that happens, we want to make as little waves as possible. Like we are not taking these people from Redcubed. When we made the server, we actually had a short list of people to invite onto the server. It was a very short list of people who we watched, content we liked. And we thought, yeah, let's invite these people. And I will tell you, with full honesty, full truth, not a single one of the people we invited was from Redcubed. We did not want them to get the impression that we were taking people. Now, Drew released a video, and you can go watch it on his channel if you like. But there are a few points that he was, I think, misinformed about, or at least, I wouldn't say dishonest about, but he's getting the wrong impression. Like, we did not make the server in hopes of it being the goal for anybody to join from Redcubed. In fact, like I said, it was the opposite. We did not invite anyone from Redcubed to join us. And we actually wanted, like, as it stands, Redcube closed down. That's a fact. We have had applications from people who were on Redcubed. We have actually turned some of them down. And if we haven't yet, we probably will. There are a few from Redcubed who may or may not be making appearances on here. I don't know when or what's happening yet. I don't know all the details yet. It's all very new, this Redcube closing. Whether or not you see members of Redcube on here or not, you can know for a fact. We did not go out of our way to ask them to join. These are all people who literally came to us, generally before Redcubed even closed, and said, hey, do you guys have a spot? I'm thinking of leaving Redcubed. Now, Drew made the comment in one of his statements that Redcubed was a stepping stone for TimeShot and other servers. Like I said, it could very well be that a member used Redcubed as a stepping stone for somewhere else, but they still have to go through the same application process as anyone else. They are still voted on like anyone else. When we have someone who wants to apply, we vote on it as a group. Should they be added? Yes or no? Doesn't matter if they are long-time friends of mine. They still have to be voted in. And so, there's a chance that they won't get in. That's the way that it works. And we also look at other factors too. I'm not saying this is the case with most people, but we look at their content, because keep in mind, like I said, our goal is completely different than that of Redcube's. We aren't so much about boosting our channels by supporting each other. It's about boosting the fans by supporting the fans, in a sense. If someone's content doesn't reflect that, or even the way that they talk in private doesn't reflect that, the reason that they make certain types of videos, the reason that they do certain types of things, if that reflects in any way, shape, or form, in a way that doesn't benefit the fans, they won't get on. Okay. So what I need to do, before I'm just like walking back and forth doing nothing, as I often do in these talky type videos, I'm going to cook up some cobblestone, because I need a lot of stone bricks. I got some here. I can make more here. I got a little bit here. Let's see here. I got more cobble and more stone here. So I can make more stone brick. I'm going to start cooking. Oh. There we go. There we go. 9, and then that. And that. And that. And that. There we go. But yeah, I just wanted to dispel any myth that we were poaching members from Red Cubed, or that we even asked anybody from Red Cubed to apply, or that even when a person from Red Cubed applies that they're instantly on. That is not the case. Completely the opposite. So, you know, that's why I said, like, I was disappointed that Red Cube failed, because honestly, I thought it had a really winning equation. It had a good following, well known, even in the major circles of YouTube. Talked about Red Cube constantly during like the Dead Workers Party Shaft podcast. Both me and Vaughn did. So it was very well known in the big communities, and we had the Red Cube podcast. Like, it was a good thing. They had a good thing going. So to see it fail, I was actually pretty upset about that. With that said, like I said, other people had reasons for leaving, and one of the comments that Drew made in one of his videos, or actually in the video, the end video, is that people were leaving without saying anything at all. I think that did actually happen, which I'm sorry that someone did that. If you ever leave a professional environment for any reason, don't just leave. That looks not very good to the people that were there, but even to like the fans. Like, what can you say to the fans? Like, are these people not thinking of the fans? This is what gets me upset. This is one of the reasons I left. But I digress. He said that some people were leaving without saying anything, and for the most part, the people who left Red Cubed, there was me, there was Win, there was Liam, there was Highboy, and there was Remco. Those were the original ones who left. Often Remco is ignored and forgotten, but I won't ignore him or forget him. He was an important part of the server, and he did leave the same time as Liam, actually, the same exact day. In fact, maybe even the same exact hour. But some people don't tend to really remember that, and that's kind of unfortunate. But we all kind of left, and we all left for different reasons. Liam left because of the management. I left because the fans were being almost ignored, and I'll get into all these details later. Win left because she said that she agreed with both Liam and I for leaving, and she would feel like a hypocrite if she stayed. So we had the guts to leave. She got the guts to leave because of that. Highboy left because he has a scholarship, like a really good opportunity in life. He had to weigh the odds, and he quit YouTube. Remco left because, honestly, he didn't feel like a part of the community. And I think one of the comments he made when he left was like, people probably won't even realize I leave. And Liam, he agreed with what Liam had said and didn't like the drama, so he left too. Other people leave for their own reasons, you know. But Drew said in his video, and he said it very adamantly, multiple times, that he didn't know why people were leaving. That people left and said, well, why are you leaving? Well, because there are problems on the server. And Drew would say, well, what problems are on the server? And nobody could seem to come up with an answer as to what those problems were. Well, let me inform you, the people watching, even Drew included if he's watching, here's one of the biggest problems. Especially, like, this is coming from the management standpoint. Big issues. Number one is that management of a server of this nature, when you are dealing with someone's livelihood, I take it in a sense of, what's that red thing over there? Is that a mushroom? What is that? I take it in the sense that this is my career. And I think to my previous bosses, CEOs, employers, things like that, things of that nature, and what their responsibility is, what their role is, and what kind of job they have. I was giving that job basically to Drew in this case. The Red Cube server is a huge part of the business that I run. YouTube. Why do I keep sealing this up? There are chests under here with stuff in them. My precious stuff. But here I was giving all this responsibility to Drew, and he's a college student. There's nothing wrong with being in college. I don't blame him for it. That's super important. I don't regret going to school at all. And I wouldn't ever recommend someone does YouTube as opposed to going to school. Because, number one, especially Minecraft, won't be around forever. YouTube won't be around forever. Things of that nature just won't be able to support you indefinitely. Maybe similar products, maybe similar things, but not forever. You need school. You need an education. That is super important. And so I totally support Drew in the fact that he's going to school. But from a business standpoint, when I need my boss, necessary quote boss, to be there, and he's not, that is a problem. That is a big problem. When the server needs to be reset and the person who's in charge of that can't be there. Big problem. When I want to talk to him about maybe adding a new person in and I don't get a response for 5 days, or if ever, that is a problem. If I want to talk about any single issue and don't get a response, that's a problem. When your status on Skype is constantly do not disturb, busy, unavailable, offline, that is a problem. I think one of the biggest reasons why Drew wasn't approached with what the problems were is because he was so unapproachable. And I'm not saying that from a personal standpoint. I could always approach Drew. But I can definitely see how, especially some of the new people who joined, how they would think Drew is very unapproachable. A lot of them just knew me, if anything. And, I think a lot of people confided in me, a lot of the problems that they were having, and never brought it up to Drew. And that in itself is one of the biggest problems. Is that there was an admin there who nobody felt that they could really confide in or talk to, or and when they did, they didn't get a reply for a long time. And I know that, like I said, he did his best. He really did. He cared about that server more than you could ever imagine. But obviously other things in life have to outweigh that, Family, friends, that kind of thing, personal things, school, being able to pay the bills and stuff like that, your future, they are all way more important than this kind of server. I need a situation where I'm in more control over what my life is about. Should the door be on this side or on this side? This side? Maybe this side, yeah. I think. Yeah. Close this off. I'm gonna maybe try to simulate the house that I had on Red Cube, because I liked that idea. It was kind of a one-off. I'll build something similar to it, or as close to it as possible, looking at the videos and stuff, and kind of go from there. Because I wanted to finish that. I always wanted to finish it and make it into something special. So I think I'll do that. So that's kind of why I put this framework down. But anyway, big problems. One of the other problems definitely stems from him not being there. But there were other issues where certain things that you have to be accountable for. When it comes to like fraud situation, people were getting concerned. We had a campaign going where people donated money, donated out of their pocket, sometimes using their parents' money to get on a public server. And that money, all of a sudden, you're relying more on a sponsored host, and you're not giving the fans what they waited for after months. And that was one of the biggest points when I left. I think if you ever watched my video, you would know that. I was talking to some of the members in private after I left, and they all said, like, does Drew not realize he could be sued for the fact that he isn't coming through in those promises? If you promise someone something and then don't give them something, they have a right to get that money back. If they invest with the full intent of it leading to something, and you don't give them that something, you might face litigation. It is a very serious thing. And we all were just that. When Liam left, the comment that I received from someone was, I'm glad that Liam is freaking out like a kid, but I can't believe that Drew isn't freaking out like a kid too, because I know that I am also freaking out like a kid, and that anybody in his situation should be freaking out just like Liam was, you know? So there were issues, there were problems, there were big problems. And you want to know why you don't know what they are? It's because nobody felt like you were there to talk to about them, or you were the problem. How is it if I'm having a problem with the CEO of my company, am I going to go to the CEO and say, hey, listen, you're a problem? That's not going to happen. People would not do that, could not do that, for obvious reasons. It took someone who had a lot of guts to do that. Liam was the first to really just take a jump, and he did it in a way, I will admit, that was not very in good taste. I will be honest with I'm sorry, buddy, not throwing you under the bus, but the way that you left was strong. Let me say that much. But to be honest, it's what needed to be said. That's what Liam said the whole time is, you know what? If I don't say it in this way, my point won't come across as being urgent enough. It's what needs to be said. It's the only way to get through and say what needs to be said. So, it's unfortunate, but it was the truth. Now, it's so much of a problem right now with Red Cube closing, because now things will happen where we are going to be getting a lot more applications from former Red Cube members. And it's like I said before, if it's entirely up to us who we bring on and who we don't. if you haven't made it on, it's really kind of out of our control. We're limiting who gets on, and that's just the way that it's going to be. It's run differently, and that will hopefully show it, you know. I think that pretty much speaks for the whole problem, and what really happened. It's a sad day. I will admit it. I didn't want to see Red Cube close. I wanted to see it succeed. I'm upset that it closed. I wanted to just kind of get it straight. One of the big things, this will be my last comment, is that there's always going to be rumors, speculation, you know. I made the comment in the TimeShot chat, like, this was, oh look, Skyda's Minecraft fan. Let me go take care of them. Here you are. Go for a hike. What? He didn't die. That armor is strong and tasteful. Goodbye. Okay, running now because there's spiders and death. This will be the last comment that I make. Is that... Oh, crap. Better take care of this guy. Ugh. There will always be the rumor mill. In the TimeShot chat, I said it was the Mindcrack Redditors, you know, because I've always thought, and I'll be honest about this too, and this in itself is probably a bad thing to say. People on Mindcrack, the Reddit fans, don't stop. They dig into your soul. That's why one of the biggest reasons why I've always said, like, heaven forbid I ever get invited onto that server and were to join that server, I don't think I could live, because the fans will tear you apart. They will pick at every aspect of your life. They will try to find out every aspect of your life. They will scrutinize every single thing that you say. They will compare with other videos that you've been in with what you've said. So if I say in this episode that I don't like the way that the color blue looks or something, and then in another video I say I love blue, they'll scrutinize it and call you a liar and do all these kinds of crazy things. They are some of the harshest, most out of control. I don't know. I know that a lot of people who watch these videos love Minecraft and are even on Reddit. I'm not saying that it's everyone, but it's the stereotype. The same as Skyda's Minecraft fans and the whole, oh my god, Skyda Minecraft butter. It's just, I know for a fact that not all fans are like that, but you pick on the ones that stand out the most and are the most stereotypical. So I said it was the Minecraft Redditors will always have a rumor mill going about any server, thinking that they've figured out the equation as to why a certain person left, or why they're saying a certain thing, or why they did a certain thing a certain way. And the honest truth is, you don't know. I know why I left. I might try to tell you, and it still wouldn't come out perfectly right, like what my mindset was at that moment where I said, yep, I'm gone. I am smart enough to realize that opinions can change. And even my thought process can change. Maybe I'd have a regret later on that I left Red Cubed. I have to admit that, yeah, when I left Red Cubed, there was a gap in my life that I couldn't quite fill the same way. Still can't. So I had people coming to me, and this is when I left, and they were saying, hey, I really agree with the way that you with all the reasons why you left, and that kind of stuff. And I actually had to stop them and say, what reasons why I left? Because at the time I hadn't even mentioned why. I hadn't mentioned anything to anyone, and the only things that I could imagine were that people were already speculating as to why I left, why I went to a certain place, why I did a certain thing. But let me tell you honestly, you cannot speculate that way. Even if you know from a great, reliable source why a certain thing happened a certain way, There's always going to be something maybe left out. I'm doing my best not to in what I say, but be open-minded. Don't be naive. There's always something somewhere that someone won't know even though they think they do. So, no matter what the rumors say, all that you should know is we love you guys. We on TimeShot love the fans. That is the reason for our server. We support you guys. The entire reason we are here is because we support you guys. We did it all for you. I hope that is conveyed in the way that we act, in the way that we play, in the way that we behave. No matter what is said, no matter what happens, no matter what rumors fly, at the end of the day, all you should know is that we're here for you guys. Doing this for you guys. That's the truth. And on that, I will leave you guys. Thank you for watching this extra long, super special episode. I wanted to get all of that off my chest. Burnt bridges? No, I don't think so. I sent Drew a message today even saying, Drew, I love you. Don't stress out. You know why? Because running a server is a very difficult thing. He's in school. He's stressed. I can't imagine what he's going through having to close that server. It's a sad day for me. I can't imagine how sad it is for him. So show him some love. Support him. Support everybody who was on Red Cubed. They're all friends of mine. They're all family to me. And with that, we leave ya. Bye-bye.